Starting on our mat, nice wide toes, pressing each little piggy down into the mat, pressing our heels down, lifting our arches. Pull those shoulders back, reaching down toward the mat with those fingertips, toward the sky with the top of our head, breathing deeply into our bellies. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, let's lift those hands up to the sky. And then exhale, soften at the knees, rounding in the spine. We'll just fold forward. And then inhale, we'll roll our way back up. Inhale, hands up high. And then again, softening, rounding in the spine as we fold forward. Give ourselves a little wiggle. Pedal our knees side, side. Wake up those legs a little bit. And then inhale, we'll roll our way back up. And then exhale, let's bend those knees and we'll place our hands onto our thighs for some cats and cows, standing cats and cows. So from here, we'll inhale and we'll arch that back, stick our tail up, lift our head, and then exhale, we'll round, bring everything inward. And inhale, arch. Exhale, we'll round. Inhaling and exhaling. And exhaling. Let's do one more of each. Exhaling, we round in that spine. Then back to a neutral spine. Inhale, let's again lift all the way up high. And then exhale, sitting down into our chair. Big circles with our arms. And then inhale back up. Circle, circle, circle with those arms. And exhaling down. And inhaling up. Just gonna move around quite a bit today. Those joints feeling good. Some length in our muscles. Exhaling down. And inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more time. Inhale high. And now sit down into our chair and we'll hold our chair for 4 breaths. One more breath. Good. And then back up to the top. And then hands come down to our hearts. Let's open up our feet a little bit wider than our hips. They don't have to be super wide. We're going to point those toes out to the corners of the mat or the corners of the room. And bringing our elbows to our ribs. Inhale, let's lift those hands up high. And exhale down into our moonflowers, elbows to our ribs, tucking that tail, lifting the heart. Inhale, we'll lift. And exhale, we'll sit down into that low squat. Inhale up. Exhaling down. Just moving with our breath. That's kind of the goal today, is to just keep moving and breathing. Exhaling down. Inhale, let's lift up nice and high and we'll go into our sunflowers. So sitting down into our squat, arms are nice and wide, hinging at the hips. And gathering up those sunflowers, inhaling nice and high. And exhaling, squat, hinge, gather, and lift it to the sky. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Do one more. Inhale, nice and high. Exhaling down. Good. Inhale all the way up to the sky. And now sitting down into that squat. Elbows go to the ribs. Palms point up to the sky, tucking the tail, lifting the heart, sitting down into a goddess squat. Good. And then coming back to nice straight legs, hands come to the heart. Let's point those right toes toward the top of our mat. And then we're just going to slowly lower down into a low lunge. Good. Hands can come up high. Inhale. And then exhale, hands come down to our mats. Good. And now let's inhale, lift up the right hand. And exhale it down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2. And last one. Good. Hands come back down to the mat. Let's tuck that left toe behind us. Inhale, we'll come back to our squat here. Point the toes over to the left. And we'll lower ourselves down to a kneeling lunge here. Hands come up high. Reach high, open up. And then exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, let's lift up just the left hand. And exhale it back down. Inhale up. And exhale down. 3 more. Inhale up. Exhaling down, always at our own pace. Last one. Inhale up. And exhaling down, hands find the mat. We'll tuck that right toe behind us. Inhale, nice and high, back to the center. Starfish pose here. Open up nice and wide. Good. And now exhale, let's fold forward here, hinging at the hips, lowering the chest, releasing the head. Nice wide-legged forward fold here. Good. Slightly bending the knees, inhaling up. Exhale, hands come to our hearts, sitting down into a little squat here, pointing those right toes. And we'll slowly bend that left knee down to our lunge. Good. Inhale, back to that low squat. And then pointing the left toes over there. Boom, to our little lunge, and then back to the squat. Slowly moving with purpose over to the right and back to the center, and then over to the left. Boom. Good. Back to the center. Let's bring those hands to our thighs. We'll sit down into that squat. Nice long back here. Sitting down low, opening up those hips, pulling those shoulders back. Let's do some little shoulder dips here. So as we exhale, we'll just drop one shoulder and look over the other with our gaze. Little twist here. And back to the center. And then the other side, dropping one shoulder, looking over the opposite. and back to the center. And now with our breath, exhaling down, inhaling back to the center, exhaling down, and back to the center. One more each side. And back to the center. Inhale, let's lift nice and high. Open up in the front of the hips. Good. And now let's point those toes over to the right. Good. Exhale, let's come to a high lunge here. Good. Lowering those hands back down. Sinking down into that lunge. Inhale, nice high lunge again. Good. And now let's open up warrior two, dropping that left heel 90 degrees, bending the right knee, holding those shoulders back, sinking the hips down, tucking the tail, lengthening all the way through our spine, opening up in between those thighs, pressing into the floor with both feet. Good. Let's lift up that right hand, drop the left for reverse warrior. And down to our side angle. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. One more time. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Back to our warrior two, and then lengthening that right leg. Good. Sassing the hips back, and then just reach with that right hand. And back up. And reach. We should start to feel inside that right leg. And reach. And back. And now reach, 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 reach. And we'll set ourselves up for triangle, lowering that right hand. Lifting the left, opening up those shoulders, still sassing this left hip out behind us. And back down to our lunge. Take a breath here. Inhale, high lunge. Lengthen in both of those legs. We're going to turn to the center. And then over to the other side. So left toes point. We're going to come to our high lunge here. With these transitions, let's really concentrate on our balance, control of our body. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale up. It doesn't make any sense to go really fast if we're falling all over the place. Good. Opening up warrior two. Good. Inhale. Let's lift that left hand for reverse warrior. And down to our side angle. Stacking the shoulders, sinking down into that lunge, pressing into both feet. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhaling up, last time. Exhaling down. Back to our warrior two. Good, let's lengthen in that left leg. Sass those hips over to the right. Begin to lengthen all the way along the inside of this left leg. And then exhale, we'll reach. And back up. And reach. Feel the length inside in those ribs. Exhaling, reach. And back, last one. Reaching far, 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 far. And then we'll go into our triangle from here. Good. Slowly we'll come down to that lunge. Take a breath here. Good. Inhale. Nice and high. Back to the center. Good. Exhale. Let's do a little moonflower here. Inhale up. Point those toes right in front of us. And now let's fold forward. Good. Let's walk those hands over to this right foot. The left hand will stay on the foot. Right hand comes up to the sky. And over to the left when we're ready, taking our time. Right hand finds that left foot. Left hand comes up to the sky. And back down. Let's do that one more time each side. Over to the right. And back down. Over to the left. And back down. Good. Let's find that forward fold again. Lengthen in the spine. Exhale. Let's fold a little bit deeper. And then gently bending those knees. Inhale. Let's come all the way up nice and high. Good. And now pointing those right toes, let's go into a high lunge on this side. Good. Exhale. We're going to take that right hand back behind us, left hand in front of us. Keep that bend in the right knee, the length in the left. Shoulders are over our hips. We're not reaching forward. Good. Inhaling up. And now exhale. Open up. Warrior two. Inhale, extended reverse warrior, lifting with that right hand, lengthening in the right leg. And now exhale, triangle pose. Good. Back to our warrior two. And then to our high lunge. Exhale, hands come down to our mats. Inhale, nice and high. Let's turn to the center. Exhale, over to the other side. Left knee is bent, right knee is nice and long. High lunge here. And now little twist, taking that left hand back behind us, right hand in front. Back up to the top. And then open up warrior two when we're ready. Inhale, extended reverse warrior. Exhale down into our triangle. Sass those hips back behind us. Opening up underneath those ribs. Good. Back to our warrior two. To our high lunge. And back down, hands to the mat. Inhaling nice and high. All the way around to the center. Hands come to our hearts. We're going to bend this right knee. We're going to shift all the way over to the right side for Skandasana or a side lunge. Inhale up, nice and high. Exhale, let's fold from here. Inhale, let's lengthen in that back. Nice long legs. Exhale, let's fold a little bit deeper. Inhale, let's come all the way up high. Exhale, hands come down to our hearts. We're going to go over to the left this time. A little side lunge. Good. Inhale up. Good. Turning those right toes. Let's come to our warrior two. Beautiful. Lengthening that right leg, reaching with the right arm into our triangle. Good. Both hands come down to our mats. We're going to take a little hop with that left foot. Toes are going to come to about a 45-degree angle. We're going to pull this left hip forward and come up into a warrior one. Good. Exhale. Let's bring those hands forward. Chest comes forward. Still pressing into that left heel behind us. Hands come back. And then forward. Good. Inhale. Nice and high. Let's lengthen that right leg. Pull the left hip forward so both of our hips are even with the end of our mat over here. Good. Exhale. Let's fold forward here, hinging at the hips into pyramid pose. Hands can come to our thigh. Skip the knee, go to the shin, to the foot, or to the floor, or if we have a block. Good. And then slowly we'll bend that right knee. Hands can find our mat. And we're just going to lower that left knee down all the way to a low lunge. Good. Inhale, high half lunge. Sink down. Let's lift our hearts into a little bit of a crescent. Tiny arch in the back. And then exhaling, we'll come back down. Tuck those left toes. Come all the way back to the center, nice and slow. Exhale, let's fold forward here. Inhaling all the way up. Let's exhale, turn those left toes, and we'll come down to a warrior two on this side. Wiggle into it. Good. Let's lengthen that that left leg. Reach with the left hand into our triangle. Good. Bending that left knee. Both hands can find the floor. Make that little hop with our right foot. Toes are at about a 45-degree angle. We'll bend that left knee. Press into that right heel. Come on up for warrior one. Pulling the right hip forward so that both hips are facing in the same direction. Good. And now begin to reach forward with those arms. Keeping the chest low, reaching back. And back up. Inhale all the way high, still keeping those hips and knees where they're at. And now straightening that left knee. Exhale, folding forward into our pyramid on this side. Chest is working toward the toes. Tummy wants to connect with the thigh. The right hip wants to stay with the left hip. And then slowly we'll just bend that left knee. We'll soften the right back behind us into our half lunge on this side. Let's inhale to a crescent lunge. Nice high hands, low hips, arch in the back. And slowly we'll lower back down. Tuck that right toe, lift the knee, inhale nice and high to the center. Good. Exhale, let's do some moonflowers. Elbows to our ribs, lowering down into that squat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Good. Let's fold forward from here. Good. From here, let's walk our hands around to the right. We're going to come into a lunge here, hands to the inside of this right foot this time. Left leg is nice and long. We'll sink down into those hips. Lift the heart just a little bit. Good, and now from here, we're gonna keep this right hand on the inside of that leg and open up with the left. And back down to our lunge. We're going to soften that left knee down to the mat. And now from here, turn a little bit so you can see. We're gonna turn those right toes out to the side. We're gonna turn our left fingertips just a little bit as well. We're gonna bring that right hand to the thigh. We'll lengthen in the spine. Exhale, we're going to turn and look over that right shoulder. Little twist here, pressing into this left hand, lengthening all along in that back, keeping the shoulder on the left side active and strong, lowering that left hip down toward the mat. Feeling the breath help us deepen into the twist. Lower the hips. And slowly we'll come back to the center. Good. Back to our low lunge here. Hands are still to the inside of that right foot. We're going to tuck the left back behind us and step back for downward facing dog. Pedal the feet a little bit if we need. Pressing into those hands, lifting the tail. Good. Inhale, let's come forward into a plank. Plank is always optional to be on our toes or on our knees. What is not optional is to just drop. This is not a plank. Good. Strong core. Exhale. Let's bring those shoulders forward. We're going to lower ourselves down onto our mats from here. Good. Hands can come underneath of our forehead. And we're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Just let everything chill out for a second. And now we're going to take this right leg, we're going to bend the knee, we're going to reach back behind ourselves. So taking that right leg off to the left, trying to keep our shoulders pointing towards our mat. Little twist in the spine here. And back to the center. Take a breath. Let things settle. And then other side, we'll bend that left knee, begin to reach it off to the right, behind us. And back to the center. One breath. And now let's bring those hands underneath of our shoulders. Feet are still soft behind us. We're just going to bring that chest forward. Hips will come just a little bit forward, and then we'll inhale into an upward facing dog. Good. Let's tuck those toes. Press back for downward facing dog. Good. And then we'll step forward into a lunge. Inhale nice and high. And then we'll come back to the center here. When we're ready, little exhale into a moonflower. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Let's do one more. And up. And now exhale. Let's fold forward. And we're going to walk those hands around to the left, coming on over to a lunge here with our hands to the inside of this left foot. Lengthening all through our back. Sinking down those hips. Now we're going to keep that left hand inside the left foot. Begin to lift the right. Opening up. Nice and wide. And back down. And now we can soften that right knee behind us. Take a second. Or two or three, however much you need. I'm going to turn around. And now we'll work our way into the little twist on this side. So we're going to point those left toes out to the left. The right fingers just a little bit out to the side. The left hand can come to the thigh. Let's make ourselves nice and long, strong and sturdy. And then begin to twist and look over that left shoulder. Once we have that twist set where we want it to be, this may take 2 or 3 breaths or more or less. And then we can begin to lower that right hip down toward the mat. Good, and then slowly we will unwind. Lower that left hand down, tuck the right toe, we'll find that lunge again. And then we'll step back into our downward facing dog. Wiggle ourselves into the pose, pressing into our fingers, into our palms, lengthen all along from our fingertips to our tails, and then begin to press those heels down in toward the mat. Good. Inhale forward into our plank. Nice strong plank here. Exhale, let's lower down. Good. Bring our arms out to our sides into a goal post situation. And lower our head down if we would like. Take a couple of breaths here. And then when we're ready, we're going to press into this right arm so that we can take the left underneath, little thread the needle, palm up with the left hand. And then we'll lower ourselves back down. Little shoulder stretch here. Good. And then pressing again into that right hand, unwinding. And we'll just take a breath. And then when we're ready, we'll press into that left hand. Right arm will go under. Laying it down, palm up. And lowering back down. Good. And then we'll press into that left hand. Unwind. And then hands will come underneath of our shoulders and we'll press ourselves back to a child's pose. Hips will come over the heels. Knees are nice and wide. Chest comes down low. And now from here, keeping our hips over our heels, we'll walk our hands over to one side, reaching across our body. And then back around to the center. One breath here. And then when we're ready, we'll walk those hands over to the other side. And back to the center. And now let's walk those fingers forward. Our hips will come over our knees this time. Arms are way out long in front of us. And then we'll slowly lower the chest down toward our mat. We can rest our forehead on our mat. If we would like, we can try and get to our chin. But our hips stay over our knees. Good. And then slowly, let's walk those hands back to a child's pose. We'll stay here for one breath. If we would like, we can even give our shoulders a bit of a break by bringing them back towards our toes. We'll continue to round in our back as we tuck our chin in toward our chest. And now, hands onto the mat. We'll lift our chest. We'll swish our feet over to one side. And we'll come down onto our butts. Legs are out long. We're going to go into our Janu Shirshasana. So taking our right leg, we'll bend it and place the foot to the inside of this left thigh. Toes of the left foot are pointed up to the sky. Nice tall spine here. Inhale, hands come up high. Exhale, we're just going to twist to the right. Left hand finds the thigh, right hand finds the floor right behind our butt. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we continue to twist. And then slowly we'll unwind. We'll turn toward that left leg and slowly walk our way back down into a fold on this side. And coming on back up to the top. Let's keep this right leg tucked. We're just going to bring the knee to the center. Left leg is going to go all the way over. We're going to try our best to cross our knees, one on top of the other, one foot on either side. They're just on the opposite side of where they normally belong. And now our left leg is on the top, so we're going to try and keep that left hip from floating up off of the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. We're happy up here, we stay here. If we would like, we can totally fold forward, deepen that stretch in the hips and the glutes. And then we'll come back up. Unwind our legs. We can give ourselves a wiggle if we would like. And then when we're ready, we'll go over to the other side. So starting with Janu Shirshasana, right leg is out long this time. Left leg is tucked. Both sitting bones are in toward our mat. Inhale, nice and high. And then exhale, little twist here. Over to the left. Right hand finds the thigh. Left hand finds the floor behind our butt. Lengthen and twist. Using our breath We've been connecting with our breath in various ways throughout our whole practice today. And slowly we'll come back to the center, lengthen here, and then we'll turn toward this right leg and fold forward. We can walk our way down with our hands, or we can make a big rainbow, reaching our arms toward those toes, whichever works best for you today. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And then helping ourselves back up to the top. We're going to continue to tuck that left leg a little bit further. Bring that right leg around. Again, we're trying to stack knee to knee. Right hip is moving down toward our mats. Take a few breaths here. Settle in. And then if we would like, and when we're ready, we can slowly fold forward. If we get down here and we don't like it, we can always come back. And then we'll help ourselves back up to seated. We'll unwind. We'll give ourselves a little shake out. And then we'll bend those knees. We'll roll up into our little ball and rock back onto our backs. From here, we can go side to side if we would like, forward and backward. And then we'll find ourselves in our little egg. Good. Inhale, let's lift those hands and feet up to the sky. Move around in the wrists and the ankles for Krakalasana. Good. And then one more inhale, we stretch those hands and feet as high as we can get them. Exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly. We lower them down. Our hands will find a spot above our head. Our legs down below our hips. We give ourselves one last stretch, make ourselves as long as we can here. And then a big cleansing exhale into our Shavasana. We close our eyes. We soften our jaw. We use these next few breaths to just let everything release. Our muscles, just relax. Release any tension that we may be holding. And we let our mind wander. Permit ourselves to just be whatever it is right now. Not expecting it to do or to be any certain way. We take as much time as we need in our Shavasana. When we are ready, we will deepen our breath. We'll wiggle our fingers and our toes. We'll bring awareness back into our bodies. Bend our knees. We'll roll over onto our side and gently help ourselves up to seated. Bring our hands together at our hearts. We'll take this time to give ourselves thanks for all of the gifts that we gave ourselves just now. The gifts of breath, of movement, of length and strength, of peace. I thank you so much for joining me today, for allowing me to help you through your practice. I hope that you feel even just a little bit better than when you started. I wish you all a very happy remainder of your day. The light and the divine in me recognizes and respects the light and the divine in each of you. And when we are together, whether virtually or physically, we are one. Namaste.